Your life as a black market surgeon. This sounds like it's going to be interesting, so without any time waste, let's get right into it.
Tie the final knot on the bandage. The golden retriever wags his tail and you can't help but smile. You hand Mrs. Higgins the leash.
Hold on, before we continue, I got a serious question. Has any of y'all ever gone to like the dark web or like the black market? Because the amount of stories I've heard about it is crazy. But I've personally never been curious enough to go there.
She thanks you for staying late, hands you a check, and leads the dog out into the rainy night. You lock the front door and you flip the sign to closed. It's been a long shift. 12 hours on your feet. A fist slams against the glass. You look up. A man stands at your door.
You see, this is why I don't play with the dark Mac market, because what do you mean a man just randomly... Let's just continue this.
He's soaked, shivering, wild-eyed. He isn't holding a leash. He's holding a friend. The friend is slumped over his shoulder, one arm dangling limp, the other pressing a red towel against his stomach.
What do you even do when you see something like this? Like, do you call the cops? Do you like, because I'd be scared out of my life. I can't even lie.
The towel is soaked through. You can see it dripping onto the sidewalk, mixing with the rain. You wave them away, and you point to the hospital down the street. It's only 4 blocks away. They have real doctors there.
See, this guy's smart, bro. Because majority of people, I like to think, would open the door and let them in. What if it's a setup? What are you gonna do then? The best thing to do in situations like this, close the doors or call the cops. But the hospital is 4 blocks away, so might as well send them to the hospital. This guy's smart.
You're just a veterinarian. They have real equipment and real medicine. The man shakes his head. He pulls a pistol from his jacket and he taps it against the glass.
Oh, hell no!
You unlock the door. They stumble inside, and suddenly your quiet clinic is in chaos. Mud on the tile, water pooling by the door, and blood. Blood on your clean floor, leaving a trail from the entrance to the exam table.
Wait, why'd he let him in when he saw a pistol? That's what I don't understand. Like, you're behind the door. Like, why would you let him in? Like, just go get shelter and call the cops. Because, like, what? That just don't make sense to me.
The gunman kicks the door shut while you help hoist the injured man onto the table. It's a bullet wound. You tell him you fix broken paws. You give rabies shots. You remove ticks and trim tails and tell old ladies their cats need to lose weight. You don't do this. You've never done this. The gunman doesn't care. Fix him. That's all he says. But you understand.
Who the hell does he think he is talking about fix him? Like, he's a vet. What is he supposed to do? But at the same time, there's a literal gun in his face. So what do you expect him to do?
Understand everything those words mean. Fix him or join him. You look at the wound. Then you look at your cabinets. You don't have human medicine. You don't have the right tools. You don't have training for this, but you have to try. You grab a tranquilizer meant for horses. It's strong enough to drop a 1,000-pound animal in 30 seconds. You do the math in your head, calculating the dose for a man. You pray you don't stop his heart. You pray you got the numbers right. You inject the line. The man groans.
Damn, this is well animated. I can't even lie.
His eyes roll back. His body goes slack against the table. He's under. You have maybe 20 minutes before he starts to wake up. You work fast. You clean the wound, you find the damage, and you stitch him up with heavy blue nylon, the same you use on Great Danes and German Shepherds. It will leave.
He better make sure that shit's washed before anything, bro, because this is how you gonna catch rabies.
A jagged scar. But he is alive. The gunman watches the whole time. He doesn't speak. He doesn't move. He just watches. When you tie the final knot, he steps forward. He reaches into his jacket and pulls out a thick envelope, then tosses it onto the patient's chest. "Keep your mouth shut," he says. "Buy yourself something nice." He carries the man out the back door.
I mean, hey, he got money out of that.
You don't help them. You just stand there, hands shaking, watching them disappear into the alley behind your clinic. The door swings shut. You're alone. You pick up the
Nah, this is low-key mad interested. Like, tell me why I'm so, like, intrigued. Like, holy.
envelope. You open it. You count the bills inside. $5,000. Cash. You don't know what to do. Part of you wants to call the police. Tell them everything.
Don't be stupid, bro. Don't call the cops. Like, that's like I don't even know.
Show them the blood on your floor and the money in your hands and let them handle it from here.
But these black market people don't play, bro. They're gonna somehow find out that you called the cops on them. Then after, go kidnap you or something when you're asleep.
The clinic hasn't been doing well lately. The bills are piling up. The rent is late. You're trying to save for your daughter's college fund, and every month you fall a little further behind. And these guys don't look like they forget a face. You saw the gunman's eyes, cold and calculating, the kind of eyes that remember everything. Reporting them could lead to problems.
Exactly.
The kind of problems that don't get solved by calling 911. You mop the blood off the floor. You throw away the rags. You hide the money in the back of your filing cabinet behind the tax returns nobody ever looks at. You tell yourself it's a one-time thing. 3 nights later, your phone rings. It's 2 a.m. You're half asleep on the
Oh, hell no, bro. Don't tell me. Damn, that's crazy.
couch, the TV playing some old movie you've seen 100 times. It's a number you don't recognize. You answer it. The vet who works late. I heard you do good work. You don't say anything. You barely breathe. A friend of mine needs help. Same situation as before. Double the pay. You should hang up. You should call the cops right now. Tell them about the phone call. Tell them about the money hidden in your cabinet.
This is a strange situation to be in because as much as you feel like calling the cops, will the cops really help you? Because what's the proof that they like left behind? I know they left behind the 5,000 and stuff like that, and there was like blood everywhere. But if they start a whole investigation, they're gonna know he snitched. Then they're all gonna be after him. So in a situation like this, it's a tricky situation.
But you think about your daughter again. You think about the tuition bill sitting on your kitchen counter, the one with the red past due stamp in the corner. You give them the address. The second patient is a woman. She's hurt.
This shows you that like your situations can like really form your judgment. Because I feel like if he wasn't in debt and if he wasn't like trying to do stuff for his daughter, he would not even be doing this in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Badly. You clean the wound, you stitch her up. 47 stitches in a neat, careful line. When you're done, her partner hands you an envelope. You don't count it until they leave. $10,000.
Damn.
You start keeping the back door unlocked.
Hey, if they're paying that much, bro, I might have to become a dark web doctor myself.
On Tuesdays and Thursdays. Word spreads. You don't know how, and you don't ask, but it does. A man with a shattered kneecap shows up on a Tuesday. You set the bone with a splint meant for Bernese mountain dogs, wrapping it tight, telling him to stay off it for 6 weeks. A woman with burns on her palms comes on a Thursday. She says she grabbed something hot. You don't ask what, you just wrap her hands in gauze and give her antibiotics meant for chickens. They all pay cash.
I like how all of the stuff he's using are meant for animals, but I just find that so funny.
They all leave through the back door. They all know better than to ask your name, and you know better than to ask theirs. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that lets you sleep at night. Most of them aren't criminals. Yes, every now and then you're dealing with someone dangerous. Someone whose eyes are too cold, whose hands are too steady, whose wounds tell stories you don't want to hear.
I know that one guy in the beginning gave him PTSD, the one with the gun.
But mostly you're helping people who just can't afford a hospital. a construction worker who fell off a ladder and doesn't have insurance, a mother who burned herself cooking dinner and can't miss work for a doctor's visit.
That's mad surprising. I think if you're helping people from like the dark web, it would be all sorts of like criminals, cartel members, like stuff like that.
Regular people with regular problems and no way to pay for regular solutions. You're doing good work. At least, that's what you tell yourself. You buy new equipment for the clinic, sharper tools, stronger lights. You tell your ex-wife the clinic is finally turning a corner. She doesn't ask questions. She just nods and says she's happy for you. Put a deposit down on your daughter's first semester. 3 months pass. You've made more money than the last 2 years combined. The filing cabinet is stuffed with envelopes now. You had to start a second hiding spot behind the water heater. You start to feel good at this. Not proud exactly, but capable.
I wonder how much money he's made now. Because at first it was 5,000 and then 10,000. Now 3 months has gone. 3 months have gone by, so he must have made mad, crazy money.
Like you finally found the thing you were meant to do. That's the first mistake. It's a Thursday. You finish with a patient around 2 a.m. Dislocated shoulder. Easy job. Pop it back in, wrap it tight, hand them the painkillers, and collect the cash. You walk them to the back door. You watch them disappear into the night, and you lock up behind them. You grab your keys. You head out to the back lot where your car is parked. You notice the black van too late.
Oh no, don't tell me this. Yo, this is so interesting right now, but don't tell me he's about to be kidnapped.
Parked in the corner of the lot. The side doors slide open. 2 men step out. Big, silent, moving with the kind of purpose that tells you they've done this before. One of them puts a bag over your head. Everything goes dark. They shove you into the van. After a short drive, they pull you out. You hear a door open. It smells like a real hospital. They walk you down a hallway. They push you forward and you stumble into a chair.
Damn, why they being so aggressive? Like, all the man does is fix people up.
Someone cuts the zip ties. Your hands are free, but you don't move. The bag comes off. You're in a room with glass walls. Beyond the glass, you see medical equipment that looks more expensive than your entire clinic. An operating table in the center with a body on it. A man in a suit stands in front of you. You're the vet, he says. He turns and points. That man needs help. You look at the person.
You didn't, like, people just be doing too much. You didn't need to kidnap him. What was the point of kidnapping him? A simple, hey, yeah, my guy needs help, bro. Could you help fix him up? I'll pay you like $100K would do it. But no, instead you go ahead and kidnap him.
On the table, you recognize him. Everyone in this city would. He's the man who owns the ports. He's the man who owns the police. The man who owns everything that moves through this city after dark. The crime lord.
Oh shit, yeah, okay, now it makes somewhat sense why they like kidnapped him. They didn't want him to see like any locations or nothing like that. That makes sense.
Seems very sick. You shake your head. You tell them you can't do this. You explain that you fix dogs, cats, the occasional wound from someone who can't go to a hospital.
Come on, bro. They're not gonna believe that. They know the type of stuff you've been fixing.
But this is different. This is beyond you. The man in the suit doesn't blink. You've kept people alive in the last 3 months, he says. You did that with horse pills and fishing wire in a clinic meant for poodles. He steps closer. This is just one more mammal. You tell him it's different. You tell him this man needs a real hospital, a real surgeon, someone who went to medical school and did a residency and knows what they're doing.
That's crazy. The fact that he never went to medical school and probably getting paid more for doctors is wild.
Hospitals ask questions, he says. They file reports, they call authorities. We don't like questions.
I mean, they're not wrong.
A guard steps forward. You didn't even notice him before. He was just a part of the background. But now he's front and center, and his hand rests on the gun at his hip. Mammals are mammals. Now begin. You scrub your hands. A woman in scrubs appears beside you. You step into the glass room. The crime lord lies on the table. You check his vitals on the monitor. You've seen this before, in dogs who got hit by cars, and cats who fell from windows.
Ow.
Internal bleeding. You look through the glass at the suit. You tell him
How do you even fix internal bleeding? Like, that's something that this is why I can never be a doctor or anything like that. First of all, I don't even like blood too much. I can never imagine myself like fixing people to get that's just not for me.
you need to operate now. No more waiting. He nods. The woman hands you the tools. Your hand hovers over the crime lord's stomach, and you hesitate. This man has ruined lives. You've heard the stories. Everyone has. The businesses he's burned, the families he's destroyed, the people who crossed him and simply vanished like they never existed at all. You could let him die right here. Just hesitate a little too long. Call it a complication. Nobody could prove otherwise.
If you do that, they gonna kill you, that's for sure.
But then you think about your daughter. Her smile, her laugh, the way she hugs you when you pick her up on weekends, squeezing tight like she never wants to let go. You begin. The next 2 hours disappear. You work fast, faster than you've ever worked before. The woman assists you. She's good. She anticipates your moves before you make them, handing you tools before you ask, adjusting the lights when you need to see better. You wonder how many times she's done this. You wonder if she chose this life or if it chose her. Another hour passes.
The same thing that happened to that guy is probably the same thing that happened to the woman. She was probably forced into it.
Your back aches. Your legs are numb. Sweat drips down your face, stinging your eyes. But your hands are steady now, steadier than they've ever been. You start to stitch him up. You tie the final knot. The crime lord is alive. You stand there for a long moment. You don't feel proud. You don't feel relieved. You don't feel much of anything at all.
He's just ready to take his 100K, bro, and head back home to his daughter.
Just empty, hollow, like you left something of yourself on that operating table. The suit enters the room. Better than I expected. You pull off your gloves. You drop them in the bin. You tell him you're finished. You ask for a ride home. You want to see your daughter. You want to sleep in your own bed. You want to forget this night ever happened. The suit doesn't move. Soon, he says. He presses a button on the wall. The glass walls turn white. You can't see out anymore. You spin around.
Holy.
The door is sealed. You push against it. Nothing. You pound your fists against the glass. Nothing. You turn around slowly, your heart pounding in your chest.
Holy shit, like I'm actually like anticipating what is about to happen.
The crime lord's eyes are open. He looks at you the way a cat looks at a mouse. He smiles. You saved my life, he whispers. His voice is weak. You nod. You tell him you did what they asked. Now you need to leave. You have a family, a daughter who needs her father, a life that's waiting for you outside these walls.
When you're in a life or death situation and like you keep on mentioning the fact, I have a daughter, I have kids at home, you know how they do in movies? Does that shit really work in real life? Because I've always wondered.
He shakes his head. A gift like yours, he says, wasted on house pets? He points to the corner of the room. You look. There's a bed, neatly made, a small desk with a lamp, a stack of medical textbooks, thick and heavy. I've been looking for someone like you, he says, calm under pressure, asks no questions, works with what they have. You tell him no. Your voice cracks. You tell him you have a life out there, a practice, a daughter who needs her father at her graduation, at her wedding, at all the moments that matter. She'll be taken care of, he says. Best schools, nice home, she'll have everything she needs. She won't even notice you're gone. You move toward the door. You press your hands against the glass. It's cold against your palms. Nobody comes. The suit's voice fills the room. Get some rest. You start early tomorrow. You look at the bed in the corner.
Nah, that's crazy. So don't tell me he can't leave or nothing. Because I was about to say, this wouldn't be too bad if like he was allowed to leave and go spend time with his daughter. And if they need like a job or something, he just pulls up, fixes the person up, and gets paid like 50K. That wouldn't be too bad.
You look at the locked door. You look at the man you just saved on the table. You think about that first night, the gunman at your window, the pistol tapping against the glass, the cash.
It's so unfortunate because there was nothing he can do about it. He got brought into this life for basically no reason. There was nothing he can do about it.
On the table. You thought you were making a choice. You thought you were in control. You were wrong. You spent your whole life saving animals. Now you've become one.
That was a W, like holy, the way they talked about it, the way they animated it, I was so intrigued. Like I don't know if y'all noticed, I was so locked in. But hey, like I said in the beginning of the video, has anyone ever try to enter the dark web or just do stuff like that? Because like I've been saying, the stories I hear about that is crazy, and I'm just not trying to experience that. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't play with that stuff. That they can do that, bro. I'm gonna stay here for my YouTube videos for you guys to watch. But hey, if y'all enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm gonna catch you on my next video. Peace.